Welcome to the show. We have on the show James Batson. He's here to share his story, his life. James, welcome to the show, my friend.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
good to see you again.
brother.
It's been a minute.
Woo, it's been a long minute because we grew up together since elementary school, and I don't know when the last time I saw you. I think we were kids probably the last time I saw you, right?
Last time I remember was in middle school probably.
Middle school?
Because I went to a different high school than you did, so
Yeah,
it had to be middle school.
You went to the wrong school.
I went to Grant.
The wrong school, right?
Yeah, well, my mom had a hand in that. But it worked out. General.
Yeah. Democrats? That was like, go ahead. No, that's probably a better school though. So that's good. Because you said we went to the same middle school, right?
Did you go to Tubman?
Yeah, I went to Tubman. Okay, so we went to Boise, Tubman.
No, I went to Woodlawn.
You went to Woodlawn?
But we were SEI.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's how,
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's funny. I had Aisha. Her name is Redmond now, by Aisha Coleman.
Okay, I remember.
She was on the show. We went to the same middle school, elementary, middle school, and high schools.
Okay.
And we've done a number of things together. But yeah, it's cool to have you on too. Because we were friends growing up too, man.
We're like right there.
Yeah.
Story. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So who is James Batson?
Man, so James Batson, just a local kid from Portland. Grew up in Portland actually, but I'm an extremely blessed individual. Like that, my bad. Extremely blessed individual that was in the right place at the right time, and I capitalized on all of that.
Are you talking about the story? Are you jumping to the story already?
No, just a blessed person.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because I was in the right place and I took advantage of those opportunities that presented themselves, and it made me who I am today.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Let me cut in there. Let me tell you the story. Get the camera on me for a second here, and like a little like some music or something. So anyway, me and James, we grew up together in elementary school, and what happened is that the President of the United States came to Oregon, President Bush, right?
George H.W. Bush, yeah.
Senior came, and when he came to present to all the kids. He did his rounds, and he came to a group called SEI, which we were a part of. And me and James were in line, and I was with him. We were talking to each other, and we got closer to maybe the front. And President Bush liked him, saw him, chose him, took James with him into his car, and that changed his life. And I missed it for some reason.
So do you know why that happened, though?
Why it happened?
Do you remember the question that I asked him?
What'd you ask him?
I said, hey, Mr. President, can I leave with you to Washington, D.C. and have a sleepover at the White House?
Wow.
I don't know where that came from, why it came out of my mouth, but that's what I asked him. And I remember he lifted up that rope, walked me to the car. I'm just chilling in the car with the president, man.
That's great.
And telling you guys what I seen inside there. He kind of coached me along, but yeah.
How old were you?
Third grade.
Third grade?
Third grade elementary at Woodlawn.
Okay, so what did he say?
So I remember he was talking about, he said, talk to your classmates about the windows. How does the windows differ from your car? And I was like, they're very thick, And he says, do you know why that is? I still remember it like it was yesterday. And I said, no. And he said, because there's bad people that want to hurt the president, do bad things to the president. And so that's to protect me, keep the windows, very thick. And then we had like the microphone and the phone in the car and the drinks and the loudspeaker, all that stuff. So it was pretty impressive. I was inside of the presidential limousine with the president.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And how that changed your life? Look, you even glowing right now talking about that.
I'm reliving those memories, But you would think that after having an experience with the president, I would walk away being a future aspiring president. I walked away wanting to be a pilot. It was something behind him as Air Force One that was calling my name. And being at Woodlawn, we were so close to the airport. I remember just looking out the windows all the time, seeing the jets taking off. And I'm always looking and saying, you know what, I'm going to do that. And so I was laser focused, and I made it happen. But you know, we'll get into that a little bit later as well if you want.
Yeah, because James I brought him to the show because he is a pilot. And it's unique given his complexion and other things, given where we're from, that he's a pilot. So it's really interesting to look into his life, especially with the experience with the president, and just a great man. I had to have him on the show, so glad he's here.
Glad to be here.
So James, tell us what you do for a living and just kind of go more in detail.
So I currently, I'm a pilot, first officer for United Airlines. I'm currently flying the 777. It's the largest two-engine transport aircraft. This will hold about...
Can I have this?
Nah.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's a gift, but it'll hold about 400 people.
Wow.
And this is an international flying airplane, so it gives me an opportunity. 1 week I'll be in London. Next week I'll be in Taipei.
Wow.
Next week I'll be in Germany, getting paid to travel the world. And
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's a really rewarding career. So, you know, people, they focus on the glamorous side of it, but they don't realize the amount of training and studying that's involved.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I got my license back in 2002. My very first license, my private pilot's license, that was right out of high school. And through SEI, Self-Enhancement Inc., two philanthropists, Mr. Ed and Sue Cooley, they took an interest in me. They had a flight school, and I told them when I grew up I wanted to be a pilot. So I remember they came to Tubman for a career day. They asked if anybody was interested in being a pilot. My hand shot up in the sky. So I told them I was going to rake leaves, wash cars, do whatever I need to do to pay for pilot training. As I was graduating high school, they reached out to see if I was still interested, and they offered to pay for my private pilot certificate. And so I dropped baseball, I dropped everything, and I took them up on that opportunity. And then I tried to get into the military for flying. That didn't work out, setback, but didn't let that stop me. Continued on, got through my instrument. So you'll get your private pilot's license, your instrument certificate, your commercial certificate, your airline transport pilot, and then if you become like an instructor or something like that. So it's a lot of studying involved, a lot of hours commitment to making your craft and becoming the best pilot. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I like I mean, what can I do? I mean, I've got you here on TV. What can I do to see what it is in like the cockpit and see all that stuff?
So, you know, that's...
Because you teach and you train too. I want to hear more about that.
So I used to actually right out of Hillsborough Aviation. I was an instructor, and I was teaching brand new students that had zero flight experience, taking them from not having any flight experience to become a first-time pilot. And then that carried on to the airlines. I was a simulator instructor, teaching people how to fly the jet. And it's just a passion that I had for teaching. I taught over in Japan, teaching English. I was an instructor here, and now I was instructor with the airline. So it's just something that I love. But that's to get back to your original question. People, I don't know why they're afraid to come to the cockpit when they board an airplane. That is one of the most misunderstood privileges that you have.
You're saying that's a phobia that people have?
They think that they can't come up there. Yeah, obviously, when we're in the air, the door is closed. Yeah, you would not be able to come up there. But on the ground, you're more than welcome to come up and say hello to us pilots. And I actually encourage it. We have kids come up all the time, because that was me when I was growing up.
Right.
And I remember talking to one of the captains who believed in me and told me, hey, you can do this. And so now I pay that help forward, being of service and providing that information to another kid. So yeah, please come up to the cockpit, man. You don't have to have any special privilege. I got you if you're on my
Yay! We got this on TV. He's gonna let me come to the cockpit.
I promise.
Can I like do that or something?
On
like
the
that?
ground, yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
very
in
cool.
the air, no, I can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you taught in Japan, and you used to live there too, and that's where you met your spouse too, right?
So I met her in college. I went to Portland State University. I majored in Japanese. And
you speak Japanese?
I do.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Say
right?
something. I mean, you're doing a lot of interesting things. First, you're a pilot, meeting the president, and then you speak Japanese. Let's hear something.
Let me see. So.
How you say konnichiwa, right?
Yeah, that's hello. So, konnichiwa. Watashi no namae wa James Batson desu. Nihongo wakarimasu. Nihongo shaberu. Daijoubu desu.
Whoa.
I just said,
cool.
My name is James Batson. I speak Japanese. Japanese is okay, pretty much. Yeah.
That's cool. How is your pronunciation, though, you think, from
It's interesting, man. So when I lived over there, my fluency level went through the roof. I came back here in 2013, and I don't really speak it as much anymore. But my mother-in-law, she was just in town with us for a month, and she doesn't speak any English. And so I was forced to speak Japanese again, and it kind of helped me out again. So I feel a lot more comfortable speaking it. But yeah, it's a fun language. I was there from 2010 to 2013. Was that major earthquake happened? Do you remember that one?
which one?
It was the Great East earthquake of Japan.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was 8.9 on the Richter scale, and terrifying. But I maintained the course. I had my dream in sight. I wasn't going to let that stop me, and I stayed over there, and it was a rewarding time. So yeah.
How different is it from here? Because I was in the military, and I said this on TV more than once. I had the decision to go to New York,
Yeah.
also Japan, but the school I went to in Oklahoma had a lot of European friends. I was into history. That was my passion.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who was from Czech Republic, and I said, hey, I have to somehow get back to Europe or get to Europe.
Yeah.
And I got that chance when I was in the military. But sometimes I always think, man, maybe I should have went to Japan because that would have been a different experience for me. So how different is it over there?
I mean, Japan is night and day difference.
Okay.
I mean, nothing's the same. It's just. I mean, I can't even. It's so much to put out there. But for example, like the greetings in the morning. Over there, they take great pride in saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We kind of lost that. We don't really say that anymore. I think everybody's so, tied up in their day-to-day hustle and bustle that we don't really take that time. But over there, it's like, my neighbor, I will go outside in the morning and they greet me with a good, Ohayo gozaimasu, good morning, konnichiwa, things like that. And I would look forward to it because it was just, it was a great interaction. So, yeah, it's, something like that. The food, they really take good care and quality in their food. If you see something on a menu like at McDonald's, right? The burger is put together all nice and perfect in the picture.
Yeah.
When you get that, the burger here looks nothing like that, right? But over there, it's going to come out exactly how that picture looked.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just things like that. It's the small things that you learn to appreciate. But it's awesome over there.
Very interesting.
One of my favorite countries.
Cool. Now let me ask you a question. This wasn't planned, but I'm just thinking about this, and you don't have to answer. We can go to something else.
No, that's fine.
Can you please explain how you met your wife? I usually play this love game. We were just playing it a little bit with the interview before.
Yeah.
I typically ask people when they're a couple, how did you first meet? When did you know you were in love? That's the first part of the steps to the love game that I play.
Yeah.
Usually they're couples, and it's a good way to connect, get them closer together. The next level usually is, what are 3 things you can say that's special about your loved one?
Okay.
And you take turns, and then after that we all hug, and everyone's in love more. So
hopefully they can come up with 3 things, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the test. If you can't come up with 3 things, then you blew it.
About to ruin somebody's evening.
Yeah. This is funny too. The first part starts. It says my first question is, do you love your spouse? If the other person hesitate, that person's in trouble.
Oh, man. In the doghouse, that's not good, man. That is not good.
Yeah, but for the most part, people usually pass, and it's a really good experience to connect and remind yourself why you got into this relationship in matrimony and why you love that person. So I want to hear how you met your spouse, and if you want to say 3 things you like about him, that's fine too. But I'm just curious how you met your spouse and all that good stuff.
Again, I was a Japanese major. I had a lot of Japanese friends in college. And at that time, I was just having fun just like any other college student, going out to bars and partying and just being a college kid. And then my friend, his name is Kevin, he told me there's this really beautiful Japanese girl that just came from Japan, and she's going to be at this event tonight. And so I remember I went home, I got fresh, I cut my hair, shaved, smelled good, all of that stuff, just to make sure I looked my best if I had that opportunity to meet her. And when I seen her, it was like my jaw hit the floor. I mean, she was that beautiful. And I went up to her, I introduced myself. She told me her name. And you want to know what I asked her, the first question I asked her?
What was that?
I said, you want to wear my watch? She was like, yeah.
Okay.
And I gave her my watch, and
Oh,
she
really?
put it on, and I mean, that's how I knew. I was like, this girl, like, we're vibing, like, we're on the same frequency here.
That's great.
And everybody was after her, but I took her flying, and after
Oh, that's how you get them, man.
hey, yeah, I mean, it works. It worked at that time.
Let's get the camera back on me. I need to learn how to fly. That might help me.
Well, I was an instructor. I could teach you, man.
That would be great. This is funny too. We didn't talk about this. That's been my goal to get, when I have time, to learn, because I had friends that I went to school with who got like their license when they're like 16, and to them, especially for those that are from rural areas, it's not much of a difference than getting like your driver's license, because you just grow up with it.
Yeah.
At least driving like a Cessna, right?
That's the training ones,
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind learning something like that. So
Just
if
right
you
down
taught
the way,
me,
but not to pick up on the girls, right? But just to...
no, only to pick up the girls. Anyway, I was like, sorry. All right. Anyway,
So yeah, that's how we met, and then I took her flying, and multiple dates, and here we are. We started dating in 2006, and 2020 or 2022, we're still together and married, and trying to have kids and do the right thing. So
wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, good. So let's play a game, and then we'll let you go here.
Okay.
So the game is, and you weren't prepared for this.
Okay.
The game is, you have to tell me a word that you like that's inspiring and positive, something that really helps you, a word that you like, and then also a saying that you really hold dear to your heart, that has motivated you and encouraged you throughout the years to get you to a point where you're at right now, to be a trainer, to be a pilot, and to be very inspirational in your walk.
Okay. So that word is inspiration. That's just who I am. I mean, all the help that I received growing up in my life, it would be a disservice and dishonor to all of those who helped me, for me to make it to where I am today and I help somebody else. And so I'm very passionate about that. I'm involved in numerous organizations. I'm involved in a lot of the community outreach programs here in Portland, just trying to be of service and inspire somebody. I remember when I met my mentor, his name is Gary Dean. He was a two-star general in the Air Force and black fighter pilot out at the Air Force Base in Portland, where we met President Bush. And when I seen him the first time, I mean, when I say it really shook my core, that's like an understatement, because it made me believe I can do this. I see somebody that looks like me and they're doing what I can do. And so inspiration is what I'm all about. I'm always trying to look for those kids. I'm trying to invite them up to the cockpit. I'm trying to relive those moments when I had as a kid to help inspire them. So just paying it forward and inspiring others. A saying that I used to live and die by this when I was en route to becoming an airline pilot. Do you know the rapper Joe Budden?
Yes.
So one of his songs, he says, there are 3 different type of people in this world. There are those that make things happen, there are those that watch things happen, and there are those that wonder what happened. And I will wake up and I will repeat to myself, what type of those individuals am I going to be today? Am I going to watch things happen? Am I going to, make things happen? Or I'm going to wonder what happened? You don't want to wonder what happened in life, right? You get one shot at this thing called life. And as you get older and older, it gets harder and harder. And if you're so focused in living on, the past and not thinking about the future, you're going to be one of those people that wonder what happened. If you watch somebody make things happen, you're also going to kind of wonder what happened, right? That person is, putting in the work to become successful, and you're watching them make all these, connections and leaps and bounds, and you're not moving anywhere. So don't be that person. Be the person that makes things happen. So yeah, that's what I used to live by when going through my journey of becoming an airline pilot.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
How do we stay in contact with you?
So you can reach me on Instagram, James Suzuki Batson, Batson. And then my email is, jamesbatson@united.com. That's the easiest way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you heard James' story, his life, how he's inspiring people, how he is an inspiration to others, making things happen in the air and on the land. I want to thank him for coming to the show. I want to thank you for watching this show.